Welcome. My name is Zita Řezáčová. I'm from the Trade Licensing Office in Ostrava, and I will tell you some basic information about how to make the trade license. The fundamental legislation is the Trade Licensing Act, which can be found on the web pages of the Czech Ministry of Industry and Trade and is in English. Everything I will be talking about right now can be found there. Here is the link. You can also find the government decree number 278 issued in the year 2008. In this document, you can find the content of each trade. So, if you are uncertain about what kind of services you can provide under the scope of your trade authorization, you can find it in this document. There is also the point of single contact in our trade licensing office in Ostrava that helps foreigners who are the citizens of the EU and who plan to offer their services to customers in the Czech Republic, and also to Czech entrepreneurs to provide their services in other member states. And now, let's have a closer look at the trades. We have 4 types of the trades. 3 types of regulated trades, vocational trades, these are crafts, e.g. the hairdressing services or the catering services. Professional trades, which always require some level of education, e.g. accounting services or the real estate mediation services. And the last ones are permitted trades, so-called concessions, e.g. the road transportation or the sale of alcohol. We have one unregulated trade, so-called the free trade, because there is no requirement for the qualification. This trade includes 80 individual areas of services which are listed in the Annex number 4 to the Trade Licensing Act. We can find there, for example, teaching activities, some kinds of consulting activities, translation services, or, for example, the manufacturing of textile products. Here, we have also the link to the web pages of the Czech Ministry of Industry and Trade, where you can download the list of all the trades with their individual contents. So, you are the applicant for the certificate of the trade authorization. There is a difference if you are an EU citizen, or you can be considered as EU citizen according to the Czech Trade Licensing Act, or if you are non-EU citizen, the third country citizen. So let's have a closer look at the requirements that the applicant for the trade authorization must fulfill. The general conditions requirements for full legal capacity and integrity and apply to everyone. The legal capacity means the age of at least 18 years old, and the legal integrity means a good character. Good character shall be demonstrated by an extract from the crime register. If the applicant is considered EU citizen, he or she submit an extract from the crime register from his or her home state or the state of the most recent stay. If they do not have the certificate of temporary residence issued by the Czech Foreign Police. Non-EU citizens must submit an extract from the crime register from his or her home state, plus required verification clause, type of authentication of its legitimacy and validity, which can be apostillization or super-legalization. Apostillization means providing a document with apostille, special type of legalization based on the particular agreement. Super-legalization means an embassy verification, a document that has been already legalized or apostilled. The extract from crime register must not be older than 3 months. The applicant must submit his or her professional qualification if it is required by the law. A document demonstrating the legal title to use the premises in which the natural person has his or her registered office, so-called permission for the place of business, the seat. The permission must be signed by the owner or owners of the property. Applicant from the third country must have a long-term residence permit or visa issued by the Czech Foreign Police, but it is not obligatory when you apply for the trade authorization. I will tell you more to this point later on. I have mentioned that even non-EU citizens can be considered, according to paragraph 70 of the Trade Licensing Act, to be citizens of a member state of the European Union, and here is the list of possibilities. Speaking about EU citizen, I mean also citizens from countries that are members of the European Economic Area and the citizens of the Swiss Confederation. And who else can be considered be EU citizen for the purposes of this act? Point. First, a family member of a citizen of the European Union and European Economic Area and citizen of the Swiss Confederation. As the second point, a person who has been granted permanent residence in the Czech Republic and his or her family members. Number 3, a third country citizen who has been granted the legal status of a long-term residence of the Czech Republic or another EU state. Number 4, a third country citizen who has been granted residence in the Czech Republic or another European Union member state for the purpose of scientific research, studies, training, or voluntary service in the European Voluntary Service. Number 5, a family member of a person referred to in point number 3 and number 4, who has been granted long-term residence in the Czech Republic. Number 6, a third country citizen who is a victim of illegal trading in human beings, or who has been subject of an action to facilitate illegal immigration, who is cooperating with the competent authorities if he or she has been granted residence in the Czech Republic or another European Union member state for this purpose. And the last, number 7, the holder of a European Union blue card. If you apply for the regulated trade, you must meet requirements for professional competence defined by the Trade Licensing Act in these sections, paragraphs. Professional competence for vocational trades is defined in paragraph 21 and 22 of the Act. Professional competence for the professional trades is defined in Annex number 2 to this Act, and the professional competence for permitted trades is defined in Annex number 3 to this Act, or is regulated by specific legislation listed in that annex. The annexes to the Trade Licensing Act can also be found together with the Trade Licensing Act on the web pages of the Czech Ministry of Industry and Trade in the section Legislation. Professional competence may be fulfilled by the responsible representative appointed by an applicant. A responsible representative must meet general conditions stated in the paragraph 6. It means he or she must have at least 18 years old, or must be at least 18 years old, unless required otherwise, and must have a clean criminal record, which means good character. He or she must also meet special conditions for trading. It means professional competence and no trading obstacles, defined in the paragraph 8 of the Trade Licensing Act. So no trading obstacle may exist. He or she must prove his or her professional competence by submitting the original of the document or an official certified copy of it to the Trade Licensing Office. A responsible representative must sign a statement that he or she agrees with his/her appointment, and the signature on the statement should be authenticated unless signed in person at the Trade Licensing Office. No person may be appointed as the responsible representative for more than 4 entrepreneurs. As far as a professional competence is concerned, I would like to point out that for some trades, the professional competence is required not only from entrepreneur or the responsible representative, but also from those who actually do the activity. All the documents, if not originally issued in the Czech language, shall be translated. This doesn't apply to documents in the Slovak language. The official certified translation to the Czech language is required only for non-EU applicants. EU citizens can submit a non-official translation unless there are doubts as to the correctness of the translation or the authenticity of the signature or impression of the stamp, for example. On the slide, you can see a sample of a rubber stamped translation of the interpreter that has the authorization from the Court of Justice for the particular language. I have already mentioned that an applicant from the third country doesn't have to have granted visa, long-term permit in the Czech Republic when he or she applies for the trade authorization. And now I will tell you more to this issue. If a non-EU applicant meets all the requirements for notifying a trade, except the long-term permit, visa, to stay in the Czech Republic, he or she will receive the extract from the trade registry for the purpose of the residence permit procedure held at the Czech Foreign Police. Later on, the applicant is obliged to submit, according to the paragraph 5 of the Trade Licensing Act, visa for a stay of more than 90 days or a long-term resident permit to the Trade Licensing Office where the trade was registered within 3 working days from its issuing by the Foreign Police, but no later than 6 months from the issuing the extract from the trade register. Should the applicant fail to submit a document confirming his or her resident permit in the stated deadlines, the Trade Licensing Office will decide that the applicant has not fulfilled the conditions for the trade authorization commencement. Trade authorization for entrepreneurs from non-EU countries who have residence permit in the Czech Republic is issued for the length of the permitted stay. Before the end of the specific period, the entrepreneurs must ask the Trade Licensing Office for the prolongation and submit a new residence permit issued by the Foreign Police. If she or he doesn't have a new residence permit yet, the Trade Licensing Office shall call upon that person to do so and set a reasonable time period for doing so. If the permit is not submitted within the period set on the call, the trade authorization will be terminated on the last day of the period set. I have told you a lot of information, which may be too much for you right now. Don't worry. The detailed instructions in how to apply for the trade authorization can be found in this step-by-step guide to licensed trades. What I haven't mentioned yet is the administrative fee, which is 1,000 Czech crowns for the first application for unlimited number of licensed trades. You do not pay for the trade, for the licensed trade, but for the application itself. The first application means that you do not have any trade authorization yet. If you ask for further trade authorization, then you pay 500 Czech crowns for the application, again, for the unlimited number of licensed trades. So again, you pay for the application itself, not for individual licensed trades. And now a brief summary, what to check before going in person to the trade licensing office to apply for a trade authorization. In order to make your visit to the trade licensing office as much beneficial as possible, please check with us in advance by phone call these issues. Check if your chosen licensed trade requires professional qualification. If you can be considered to be citizen of EU. If you need an extract from the crime register from your home country. And if so, check with us whether you need some kind of verification clause. And last, check if you need visa or long-term stay permission. Just a small remark that even EU citizens are obliged to report the place of stay to the Czech Foreign Police within 30 days upon entering the Czech Republic if the intended stay in the Czech Republic is longer than 30 days. For more information about the duties for the foreigners, you can check the web pages of the Ministry of the Interior of the Czech Republic. You can also find there useful information regarding Brexit. During the transition period until the end of 2020, the British citizens will continue to have the same right to freedom of movement anywhere in the European Union. After this transition period, British citizens who have never resided the Czech Republic before or during transition period will be treated as the third country nationals starting from the January the 1st of the next year. And they will be subject to the same rights, obligations, and procedure as other third country nationals without the right to free movement. We strongly recommend to British citizens who intend to stay in the Czech Republic for more than 3 months, please apply for the certificate of a temporary residence. What to take with you for notifying a licensed trade as a natural person, in Czech Fyzická osoba. You can see what you need. Identification card, certificate of a temporary residence, a long-term permit. Filled in and signed permission for the place of business, consent to the seat, signed by the owner or owners. Here is the link of the form, souhlas s umístěním sídla. And if you are the owner of the property where you intend to have your seat, you will simply sign an affidavit. It means the declaration of owner, that you are the only owner. Then You need a statement on the criminal record, if needed, and evidence of professional competence, if needed. In case you would like to do your business in the Czech Republic as a legal entity, you need to submit following documents in the Trade Licensing Office, or to the Trade Licensing Office. A document that the legal entity was established or founded in the form of the notarial deed, unless the legal entity has already been registered in the company's registry or the similar registry. Then, permission for the place of business, the seat, signed by the owner, souhlas s umístěním sídla, for legal person, právnická osoba. And for regulated trades, a declaration signed by the responsible representative plus respective professional qualification evidence and power of attorney if the statutory body is not present in person. Detailed information can be found in this link, where is also a step-by-step guide for foreign corporations with the seat outside as well as inside of the EU. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope that you will find all the given information useful, and in case you need more information or you have some questions, please do not hesitate to contact me either by phone or by your personal visit to our Trade Licensing Office in Ostrava. I wish you good luck in your business activities.